All right, let's see where I left off here. After I turn this down again. Okay. So I think the eye looks good enough. What I'm gonna focus on now is bringing it all together from starting from the lens and then working toward the eye. So I'm gonna do some of that. So let me change this up, see what I've got so far. And I'm gonna want to say it's something like the distance at which an image is projected through a lens is determined by the thin lens equation, and then show this. Yeah, so let me, to start, I wonder if I can just show the two arrows. And the lens without them moving. So comment through about here. If I just self-weight, let's see what I have there. Okay. Let me get the arrows too. Indicating the distances of these. Okay, so there's original dist arrow. I guess it's set to a value tracker, so I guess I have to bring over the value tracker too. Original arrow, so let me try bringing this over with it. So put that up here. Oh wait, that's not the original arrow tracker. Where is that? Original arrow tracker. Oh, I set it, wait, set it right here. Okay, and that's facing the original arrow, which is up here. Okay, so let me just count this. Original and image arrows. Great. I should probably put their trackers next to them. Oh, but the image doesn't have a tracker. Okay, now I should be able to now indicate the distance to the original. Like so. And then be able to add this. Okay. Great. Even though it's in the wrong, not in the right place right now. Or do I need buff equals 0 or something? I'll deal with that later. That's distance to the original arrow. And here to the image. Image just arrow equals that. Okay. Image lens just not defined. Yeah, this is something that was computed live. Is calculated this updater. What I'll do now is I'll just put it here. Oh, I remember this. Guess I'll just put it here. this, I had to put it to a 10 just so that it would make the arrowhead work properly. Also, why is the buffer? There's like such a big buffer between these. Don't know where that got set either. And this should be going from the origin. This one's also going from the origin. Maybe it's from this put start and end on. So here I update the image. Yeah, I guess it must be put start and end on call. So I'll try doing that. Or actually, first I'll try putting a buff equals 0. And here I'll put buff equals 0. Let's see if that helps. Yeah, and that actually does. I'm going to post on Discord about the class soon. And in 50 minutes. What should I say? We'll start in 15 minutes, although I'll be working on a I'll say I'll be working on a tweet until then at my channel linked above. Let's see. Next and final lesson on probability simulation will start in around 50 minutes. I'll be working on a tweet until then at my channel linked above. Exclam. Great, I dig it. Anyway. Okay, so I had to set this to 10. I had to set it to something reasonable immediately afterward, though. So there's the equation. I just put it at 3 times left and 3 times right. I wonder if this is even the right way to approach this. Maybe what I should do is just at first not update the tracker. I've actually tried doing that. So I'll go back to where I was, which I think was here. See how that looks. And that looks fine. Now if I just don't move the tracker and I just self.wait. Yeah, it won't update at all. I wonder if it's computed right now or not. Like, is update original dist arrow, or not that one, but update image dist arrow even being called? Image location. And it was called once, I guess. But I don't think in the image lens dist. Actually, that has to be getting updated because 10 would be off the screen. lens dist. Actually, that has to be getting updated because 10 would be off the screen. So I print that out. Then yeah, that is being updated. So this is correct. So what I want to do is probably show the creation of this. Maybe even moving. And then say the equation or the distance between an original and refracted image is determined by the then lens equation. So why do I have this running? Take out the prints. And the weight. Okay, so I'll have this, and then instead of just making this, having this just be here, I'm going to write it out. So move that down. This will be playing. This should be this should just be running in the background, right? I wonder if that should be an updater or something. Maybe what I would want to do is set value -6. I'm gonna want to set the value on the original arrow tracker programmatically, I think. Actually, here's what I can do. I can just add .animate. Oh, this actually won't work. Because I want to write at the same time that this is happening. But this is moving with a there and back rate function, so that'll be annoying. I'll actually see how to do this later on. Right now, I'm just going to add the animation. Play a write of the distance between an original and refracted image. Let's say between an object and its refracted image by the then lens equation. Then lens equation. And I'll see if I can make that fit. And this have to be probably tech. So let's I'm just gonna add this at first. And see how I can place it with the lens equation here. Let's see how this looks. Pretty large. I wonder... I think there's a way to line break. Actually, we don't even have to. I can do image. And then I can break the second line into a new object. But I think this should do it. The two backslashes. Okay, so yeah, that did it. Image here. Okay, so now if I put this to the top left corner, I can call this description. And to corner, And this can go to the up left corner. And I can see how that looks. Left corner. And I can see how that looks. And I don't think it'll fit. So I'm gonna have to do instead, let's probably just bring it to the top. And then put the equation beneath that. So it's going to be 2 edge up. And the equation is going to be this dot next to description down. Then lens equation reference before assignment. Let's see where that happened. Here. Okay, so there's the description. There's the equation. Okay. That doesn't look so bad. I'm gonna scale these down. Maybe 0.7 or so. Okay, and this one too. Then I'll probably end up moving the lens down a little. Okay, and then I'll move the lens and stuff down a little. The lens is this. It might be a bit of a pain since I'll have to move the arrows down and stuff too. Hopefully it won't be too big a deal. Let's see how many objects there are here. There's the lens, the original arrow, and the image arrow. Where are the arrows denoting the distances? Down here. Okay, I don't think that'd be too much of a problem. And then I just add all of those. So I'm gonna say, let's just say diagram equals a V group of just all of these. So the lens, the 2 arrows, original arrow, image arrow. And then the distance, whatever the distances are called. Original dist arrow and image dist arrow. So diagram equals this. Actually, maybe I don't even need that. Maybe I can just do this, dot shift down times like 0.5, and hopefully that'll move the entire diagram down. And it isn't moving the arrows, the distance arrows down, which makes sense, I think. Where's the, what's it called? The original dist arrow? Because in its updater, I put its start on the origin. So I'm gonna have to keep track of this shift distance. So let me just call this diagram shift distance. Or diagram shift. Can be this. And then these, I'll just start equals origin, this diagram shift, end equals this time plus diagram shift. See if this helps out with the arrows at all. And it moves. See if this helps out with the arrows at all. And it moved one of them. Update image dist arrow. I guess that makes sense since the original is up here. So for that one, I have to do this. Wasn't trying to do that. This will be this distance. That's the start, that's the end, and then plus diagram shift. Okay, now it's only the image arrow. Where was that even created? Image arrow here. I wonder why one was shifted. Whoops. Why one was shifted but not the other one. Here's the original arrow. I added it here. Added an updater there. Or update original. Where is update original? So that's a move to. And it moves it to its original X position, so that makes sense. And this one, update image. Right? Oh, is this not what I wanted? Right times image offset, then right times image offset plus down times the magnification. I think this isn't what I want. That here I want the plus whatever I called it, the shift value. Diagram shift. So that, and then here. Great, okay. And now I'm gonna want to write these instead of just this personal for Project Euler. No, this is, wait, Project Euler. You mean the site with the coding challenges? But no, it isn't. This is for something for Twitter. Yeah, no problem. It's I'm gonna make this into a tweet and then tweet it. So that's why I'm doing it. I just want to, I hope I'm getting this right. So this is updating the image arrow and putting the start on right times the image offset plus the diagram shift. That's going to move it down. Does that make sense? Then this is right times the image offset plus down times the magnification. And then I'm shifting that by the diagram shift. Okay, I think that's right. So what I want to do now is probably actually write this. Which might be a little tough. Because right now I'm moving this with a self.play call. What I want to do is just have an updater, which is updating this arrow tracker. But I learned that if you try to have an updater on a tracker, weird stuff happens. And I don't think I want to try doing that again. So what I think I'll do... Maybe I can have an updater on the lens. We call it update original arrow tracker. This will be on the lens. Then I'm going to add that to the lens. This will be on the lens. Then I'm going to add that to the lens. I'll just yank this. I'll just have this print something so I can make sure it's working. Okay, so that's updating, which is great. This is becoming like somewhat janky code right now. This might not be the best to try to learn from, but thankfully, it's not a lesson. So, I'm gonna write some sloppy code. Now, I'm going to want to, on each frame, I wonder if I can just increment a value on each frame. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something like elapsed time equals 0. I think I want to take this in dt. And then, what are you trying to build? What I'm building is, I'm making a tweet, and the tweet is going to be on refraction with a thin lens equation. So that's what I'm doing right now. What I'm in the process of doing right now is I want this sort of motion to happen without a call to self.play. And I actually thought of an easier way to do this. I can set the original arrow tracker to like whatever value I want, like 10 or something. Or just 5. A linear rate function. And a runtime of 5. So now that tracker is acting as a clock. What did I do? Comma. So I can do that instead. I'll see how this works, or how this looks. And that actually makes sense, I think. Because I don't want it to grow that far. So I'm gonna update the updater on the original arrow, which is this. And instead, I have t, or the time, is going to be this thing that get value. Then the start, the start will always be the same. The end, the original dist arrow. Yeah, the start will always be the same. The end will be right times time. And this is going to be modulated by a sinusoid. So I can do, I'm going to sine of time. And see how this looks. Looks like it's almost doing what I want. Right. The start, the end. So I want it to be a set offset to the right and then oscillate around that location. So I want something like -3 times right. Actually, I'm just going to look at this for now. If I had this at -3 times right and that's all. Wait, why is even that one doing something weird? The image dist arrow. The image lens dist times the diagram shift. The image lens dist is being updated here. And this is from the arrow, the original arrow tracker.get value. So this is also not correct. So I'm going to stop updating this for now. And just pass this. Okay.